morning, I'm Hosseil Cordoba. This is a 69 News Netcast. If you weren't watching 69 News at noon, here's a bit of what you missed. Today is another big day in federal court in Philadelphia. Former Reading Mayor Vaughn Spencer is set to appear before a federal judge. He's facing corruption charges. Authorities say he engaged in a series of pay-to-play schemes where he allegedly sold the power of his office in exchange for contributions to his campaign. According to prosecutors, Spencer made it clear to various businesses and individuals in Reading that contracts would be withheld if they didn't provide sufficient contributions to his campaign. He also is accused of bribing former City Council President Francis Acosta to repeal an anti-corruption statute. Acosta pleaded guilty to bribery charges last year, and his wife Rebecca was also indicted last week. She pleaded not guilty. Allentown Mayor Ed Pawlowski appeared in court last week and pleaded not guilty to similar charges. The former owner of a daycare in the Lehigh Valley has entered a guilty plea to charges stemming from a baby's death while the child was in her care. A judge will now decide the fate of Sharon Ballack, who admitted she endangered the welfare of an infant in her care. WFMZ's Emma Wright has a story.
60-year-old daycare owner Sharon Ballack has pled guilty to reckless endangerment and endangering the welfare of a child after 3-month-old McKenna Rose Felmley died suddenly on her first day of daycare in April of 2016. Ballack, owner of the now-closed Sharon's Daycare, was charged by a grand jury. Investigators say baby McKenna stopped breathing after being placed on her stomach in an old crib kept in a closet of Ballack's house.
I think Miss Ballack does feel bad, but who feels worse is the mom of McKenna Rose Felmley, who lost a 3.5-month healthy baby, basically.
Northampton County District Attorney John Morganelli says Ballack left the 3-month-old unsupervised for hours at a time the day she died.
This was the first time that some child died in her care, but clearly there were violations that go back many of years.
According to inspection reports obtained by 69 News, Sharon's Daycare received numerous state violations nearly every year it was operational. Beginning in 1985, reports state that the children at Ballack's in-home daycare were not supervised at all times, and she was cited numerous times for having too many children in her care. Violations ranged from record-keeping errors to more serious charges, like allowing small children to be close to sharp objects and not having cribs that met the standards put forth by the Consumer Product Safety Commission. Reports from the days after baby McKenna's death state that she was kept in an unlicensed area of the daycare. I
learned a lot about daycares through this investigation by the grand jury, and I do believe that there's deficiencies that need to be addressed.
Emma Wright, 69 News.
John Cramsey has pleaded guilty to weapons charges, and now he's waiting to hear if he has to stay in prison longer. Cramsey pleaded guilty to 2 charges yesterday. Each carries a maximum sentence of 5 years in prison. Authorities say Cramsey filled his car with a cache of guns and brought 2 others to a so-called rescue mission in New York. But the trio was stopped on the Jersey side of the Holland Tunnel last year. The defense says it's going to appeal for probation as part of the plea agreement. Cramsey will be sentenced in September. For more local news, watch 69 News or get updates here at WFMZ.com. With the 69 News Netcast, I'm Hosseil Cordoba.